Math 122. For week number 4 homework, we've been looking at income taxes. And I know reading through that book, the lecture notes, which are it's like a book, can be difficult to break it down. So let's see it in a video form. Maybe this will shine some light on things. I know in the homework question number 1, I'm talking about someone who's working at home daycare, got single 2 young daughters, and a weekly income. So let's break this down. I'm changing it to 1 young daughter, changing the income slightly, but same steps. Number 1 is gross income. Gross income is all the money that comes in. All the money that comes in. I don't care what sources, all the money comes in. In this case, it's just, we're talking about $650. Oh, but that's each week, so let's times it by 52 weeks in a year. All the money that comes in is $33,800. Okay, that's it. And if you read through there, there's no other income numbers in there, no side jobs, no extra bank account, anything like that. So we got a gross income. What's up next? The adjusted gross income. Now, adjustments are very specific. Did she donate? Did Emily, in this case, our protagonist, did she donate to a college account or did she donate to a retirement account? Read through the problem. She did not. So there are no adjustments, which means the number stays exactly the same. Adjustments are really, you're actually thinking like a tax person, really specific. Adjustments is only in retirement account or college account. What's up next? Taxable income. Well, taxable income means I need to find the deductions, I need to find the exemptions. Now, both of those numbers will live in this chart, which is on your homework. Okay, so how are we finding those? Well, we first need to figure out what class of taxpayer Emily is. And if you notice, she is single with a daughter, so she is taking care of a child at home. That's the head of the household. She's running the house. So as a head of household, you have those numbers right there. And those are the numbers we're going to use to figure out deductions and exemptions. Now, deductions are your typical giving to charity, that sort of thing. So if you look through the scenario, well, Emily doesn't have any charity deductions, so you just go to the government says, well, if you didn't make any donations, we'll give you, Uncle Sam will give you a one-time deduction number, $9,100 in this case. Done, right there. Thank you, Uncle Sam. Exemptions, this deals with how many people you take care of. Well, in this case, the exemption per person is $3,950. Well, Emily's taking care of herself, and we got a young daughter, so she has 2 exemptions, $7,900. Deductions are charity. Exemptions are the people you take care of, and going back one time, that adjustments, those are very specific, college or retirement accounts. So those are all I'm classifying all the numbers. Now we just put it together in taxable income. We just take the money that she brought in minus the deductions minus the exemptions. Ta-da, right there. There's my taxable income. All the money I brought in minus all my deductions and all my exemptions. Next step. Taxable income. Well, we know her taxable income was $16,800. That was from the first 3 steps of the problem. Now, I'm going to break it down like this. I'm going to think of that, the tax that she has to pay. I'm going to think of that $16,800 as sort of a bar graph. And you see it go up just a little past $15,000. And I'm going to use this chart to say, wait a minute. I've got 15%, and I've got a 10% number. And the 10% number goes up to $12,950 right there. So in other words, I'm going to take that part of my bar graph and multiply it by 10%. And then the red part is going to be what's left. How come the red part is what's left? Because you see that 16,000 is in that range, the 15% range. And so this one is just 12,900. The blue bar is 12,950 tall. And the red bar is 3,850 tall. How did I get that 3,850? Well, you're saying the difference between those two numbers. You're 16,000 minus 12,000. You're figuring out the difference in between. So the bottom part is taxed at 10%, and the middle part is taxed at 15%. We get those two numbers. Well, our calculator can do those calculations. Make sure you move the decimal place. Don't multiply by 15, 0.15. And then the tax owed, you're just adding those numbers straight together. And so we say Emily needs to pay $1,872.50. That's a very basic example. I'll come back with a second example, another video with a little more involved example, but this is the general idea for how we're doing income taxes.